Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my personal holiday knitting guide and all the projects that I think are vital for your holiday knitting journey. I'm going to try to cover things besides sweaters today, but just know that I am mostly a sweater monogamist. I only knit sweaters most of the time, but I'm trying to change that. I think I'm going to knit during this video because it feels more informal, and I mean, we're talking about knitting. Why would I not just knit at the same time? I have my drink of choice, which is just a Coca-Cola with some pebble ice, and I'm ready to get started. I compiled this list from things that have been catching my eye lately, but also things that I have knitted in the past around the holidays and for the holidays, and things that kind of just inspire me to get into the holiday spirit. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm gonna just knit and talk to you about all of my holiday recommendations. I am working on the Maya sweater. The Maya sweater by Deegan. It's getting very close. I love it. And this is also one that I feel like is very holiday oriented, and I'll talk about it in a second. But I'm trying to get this done by my birthday, which is next Friday. So we will see if that happens. I'm on Sleeve Island right now. First off, I want to talk about a dress. I have only made one dress in my knitting journey, and that was the Dima air blouse that I modified into a dress. So I've never made a pattern that actually was a dress pattern. This one is the Eve dress by La Poule, and this is like the ultimate New Year's party dress in my opinion. It's as you can see, sequins and just glitter and everything like that I envision in a holiday party dress. This is not super my style, but I definitely would pull it out for a holiday party or to wear on stage sometime. I think it would be really cute in a gold. I'm kind of more of a gold girly than silver, but either would look really cool, or a multicolor sequin. I think I have seen someone also make I think they have pants and a shirt like that with the sequins. Like the pattern maker has patterns for all of those things. So if you're not a dress person, you could do a matching set with sequins. But I think that is a very fun idea, and also something to kind of like branch out and knit something that you wouldn't normally knit like year round, you know, unlike me, who I'm knitting another sweater. So okay, this is one that I have knitted before and I wear so much. It's the Porcelain sweater by La Knit. I did this, I want to say January of 2024. So I started knitting it after the holidays, but then at the following holiday, I wore it 24/7. I did it in the colors that they have in the picture. I didn't do it in the original yarn, but I tried to color match as best as I could. This was my first Farrow pattern. I would highly recommend it if you haven't knitted Farrow before. It's really, really easy to follow. I only had to rip it out a couple times just because of like, you know, me being a beginner, but I truly felt like it was a big like confidence boost and got me into that kind of color work. And I kind of want to make it again. I kind of think that it would be really cute in a brown base with a white, the white color work. This would also be so cute if you went like full Christmas, like a white base with red or a white base with green, or, you know, all the Christmassy things. But I do feel like this just screams winter, and I love it. I love that it's mohair, and yeah, it's one of my favorite knits that I've ever made. So definitely check it out. Kind of going with that theme, I want to talk about Christmas stockings. Back a couple months ago, I had decided that I wanted to make Christmas stockings for me and my husband. I am still working on it, but I decided to self-draft a pattern while also kind of using one as a gauge on just like how to start a Christmas stocking. Like, I've made socks, but it's a really big sock. I took the top and bottom motifs of one of the porcelain sweater themes and used those, and then I put little bows on the inside. And I'm literally right at the heel, and I have put this aside for like a month, and I really need to get it together because I am the type of person that the day after Thanksgiving is when I set up all my Christmas stuff. So I have got to get it together. But I used the Cascade Yarn stocking pattern for this. The cool thing about that pattern is it encourages you to like mix and match the Fair Isle motifs that they have. They have all kinds. I didn't use any of them, but I thought they were very, very fun. And it's kind of like more of an open-ended knitting project, which you don't find those a lot. So I will attach a picture of mine and then also the Cascade ones, and I'll put a pattern in the description. I couldn't find a ton of Christmas stocking patterns that used a lighter weight yarn. I just don't really love the look of bulky yarns in most cases. And I wanted to use something like DK or something, but that one fit the best. I did have to rewrite based on my gauge, but I think it might have used fingering yarn. I can't remember, but I think a Christmas stocking that mimicked a quilted stocking would be so cute. Those are so in right now, and I think somebody needs to make it. Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't need to commit to anything right now, but there's not a pattern for that, but I will attach a photo just kind of where my brain's going in case anybody wants to attempt it. But next is something that I have also made. Hold on, I have to decrease. Next up is the Dagmar jacket by Petite Knit. This is a cable pattern, and it was my first cable pattern ever. She also has a pattern that is a worked in the round actual sweater pattern for the Dagmar. I think it's just the Dagmar sweater, but I just think it's very fun, and I think cables scream winter. As you can see, I've got my Rory sweater on that I just made, and I made this in a Christmassy red last year, and my goal was to make it by Christmas, and I did make the deadline, and I worked nonstop, but I love it, and I would highly recommend to not choose a yarn that I did that's super fuzzy. It was horrendous for ripping out stuff, and I constantly had to do it with the honeycomb stitch, which is very, very difficult in my opinion, and I don't know, kind of monotonous. So I would recommend finding a yarn that you can see really clearly and also rip out. I didn't do that. But if you're looking to do some cabling this Christmas, I would highly recommend the Dagmar jacket or sweater by Petite Knit. Sticking with the Petite Knit theme, the Olga sweater / Olga jacket is a beautiful option for a Christmas sweater because I feel like striped red and white or green and white or whatever sweaters really scream Christmas time to me. Also, I made this last Christmas in Eloise at Christmas time colors. I made it pink and white, and Eloise is my favorite Christmas movie ever. Come the day after Thanksgiving, it's gonna be on at our house 24/7. But you could really personalize this and make it very Christmassy or, a little bit more muted, but I just feel like something striped that's kind of Christmassy gives holiday vibes. Striped sweater just feels cozy and Christmassy. So I wanted to include that because I do feel like you could even match it to your Christmas decorations that you made for the year, and it would be super extra, but very fun. So it's a very easy pattern to read. It works up really quick, and I had a lot of fun with it. So definitely check it out. The Norma sweater by My Favorite Things Knitwear has been on my TikTok, Instagram 24/7. It reminds me of the Porcelain sweater in a way. Just the way that the color work is separated just feels very similar, but also it's very different. It's just seems like a similar construction. I think this would be so cute for the holidays, and to be able to make that color work more of a holiday color would be very, very fun. And I had to put it in here because I feel like it has to be similar to the Porcelain sweater, and to do that with a fingering and mohair held together would be such a cozy little project, and I definitely want to get that on the needles very soon. But I just think it is a lovely, lovely sweater. Next up is something that I'm going to make very soon. I have never made it, and I think it's kind of crazy because it seems like everybody starts with this project. It is the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit. Now, I don't really need to say much about this. Everybody who is watching this video has probably made one, and I feel like I'm the only one at this point. But to make like a red or a green one would just be such a little cute spice to add to a Christmas outfit, and I definitely want to make one. They also have a Sophie hood now. I don't know how I feel about this trend. I think it's really cute on other people, but I don't think it would be cute on me. So maybe I'll try it, or maybe I can find something similar like in a store to try on before I commit to like a full-on project. But I definitely want to make a Sophie scarf or two this Christmas. Sticking to the accessories, I have already started on one of these, and I started on it last night. It knit up way quicker than I thought it would. It's the Annie Sews Sailor Slippers, and these are striped slippers that you knit really large, and then you felt them in the washing machine, and then I think you can like use a felter to like precisely, you know, change some things. But I will grab mine. It doesn't look like a slipper right now because it's so big and I've not pieced it together, but I'll at least show you kind of what I have worked on up until this point. I worked on this for 2 hours last night and I almost have a whole slipper, so that tells you how quick of a project this is. So this so doesn't look like a slipper. They're so big, but this is my first slipper and it was so fun. I just love the colors. I have a secret though. I did buy this yarn to make for a Christmas present, and I cast it on for myself because I justified it by thinking that if I don't make one for myself and I don't know how they fit, and what if I need to modify something, or what if my gauge is weird or whatever, then I'll give someone a present that they can't use. So I volunteered to make this first, you know, just out of the kindness of my heart. And I'm very excited about it, but I'm gonna order more yarn to make these for the recipient of the Christmas present. But the Annie Sews Sailor Slippers are so cozy, and I think that that would be such a fun Christmas present for one, but also just a little self-care and something you can wear around the house and wear to your family's Christmas gathering, or if you're going to stay with family, you can take those, and they're just super cozy. And you can make a Christmas version, which would be very fun. So they knit up really quick. I used drop snow, which is also very cost efficient. So I feel like it's a really good option all around because it's not very expensive. This next one is a sweater that has been popping up on my TikTok every now and then, and I screenshot it and then lose the screenshot, and I can't remember what pattern it was or anything about it. I have been planning this video for a while, so this is one that kind of inspired this video, and it has taken me days to find it. I finally did. It's not named what I would ever think it would be, and I'm gonna butcher the name, but it is the Northern Augustins number 4 by Anne-Sophie Velling. This screams Eloise to me. This pattern, so good. I love the bows. I love everything about it, and I'm going to have to make it 100%. There's no denying that I'm going to have to make this, hopefully before Christmas. I feel very strongly about it, but I love the colors they use. I also would love the pink as the little colorwork pop, but I've never made a yoke colorwork sweater. I've always done, like, you know, starting at the shoulders and everything. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna have to get off here and order the yarn for this, because now that I have found this pattern again, I'm not gonna lose it. I'm not gonna let go of it this time. But this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern, and I think everybody should make it. The sweater that I'm making right here is called the Maya sweater by Deegan. I fell in love with this pattern like 2 months ago, and they just released it a couple weeks ago. I have had some major problems with this pattern, but I still think it's cute enough that it is justified. It says it is knitted in DK. It is not knitted in DK. It's knitted in boucle, which is bulky. I rewrote the pattern and chose yarn that resembled the first picture that I saw, which I think gives major Christmas vibes. It kind of reminds me of the American Girl doll Molly, if you get that reference. But I I love it, and I think that the collar for some reason reminds me of the holidays, and I would recommend knitting it, whether you do it bulky or rewrite it. It was not that hard to rewrite. I have not had to take out anything. Once I got going with, getting my new gauge, it was pretty smooth sailing. So it's not anything crazy, but if you do want to use DK yarn, and like follow the picture that they first posted, which is definitely, to me, looks like a lighter weight yarn than the new one, you're gonna have to rewrite it. So, but it's fun. It was a very, very fun thing. They have like I-cord little ties in the front, and the little collar has like a crochet peacock stitch, and so that was nice getting to just like use a different method to making it. So highly recommend the Maya sweater. Okay, I also want to recommend one more sweater, and that is the Rory sweater. It was so fun to make. I'm making another one right now, and it knit up so fast, and I think this would be so cute in a red or green or this color. I feel like cables just give, like I said, holiday vibes. And if you are new to cables, I feel like this was very doable. The one I mentioned earlier, the Dagmar jacket, I do feel like is a little bit more advanced and is a hard beginner cable project because of the honeycomb pattern. This like gets you introduced to how they work, but then you have this moss stitch, which like takes up a lot of the sweater itself. So it's not the worst, and it's very fun, and it's knit flat. So flat, 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 and then seamed together. So I think everyone should knit a Rory sweater this Christmas. This also kind of gives off Thanksgiving vibes, so do with that what you will. Okay, those are the items that are at the top of my list to knit this holiday season. I could go on and on about so many because I find new ones every single day, but I hope that gives you some fun ideas and some patterns to knit in this cozy season. I had so much fun putting this together. I love just compiling lists of like knitting patterns for certain occasions. I feel like it's so fun to kind of give yourself like an impractical deadline. Usually it's always impractical for me. So giving myself a deadline is very fun, and I feel like it makes patterns go by quicker, and I end up getting more done. So, and it's also more exciting because it's like, oh, if I make this, I can wear it for this occasion, which in this case is the holidays. So I hope you found this list helpful and fun, and yeah, I cannot wait to get cozy and watch some Christmas movies and knit for the holidays, and I hope you do the same. So I will see you next time.